Dear Mr. Scott Morrison, we share the same first name, but there's so much else about us that is different. While my greatest concern is about my fellow South Africans who are stuck in an absolutely putrid environment and have been for many, many years, and sadly it is not getting any better. How did this all come about? Well, the country was forced to go into democracy in the Rainbow Nation, and basically the entire riches of the country has been stolen by a small group of very powerful ANC figures in the country, and that country has been decimated while the world looks the other way. However, pretty much on our doorstep here in Australia is Hong Kong, where the Chinese are now coming down hard on the citizens of that small, once British island. And of course, because the world's attention is now drawn to the plight of those citizens of Hong Kong, what did Australia do? It put up its hand and said, yes, we will take you in. We will take you in. Mr. Morrison, as Prime Minister of Australia, I am pleading to you to turn your gaze to Southern Africa and look objectively at what is happening to the minority white group in that country. Their plight is far worse than that of the citizens of Hong Kong, and yet they've been overlooked. They are desperate to get out of South Africa. They are absolutely desperate. And the whole world looks the other way. And in fact, there's this attitude of contempt towards the white South Africans, the most wonderful community. They would enrich Australia so much, and yet you have done nothing to help them. Let me just remind you once more, Mr. Morrison, that the reason this minority group is in the terrible position they are today is because the rest of the world forced them into a situation where they handed over the country to these scoundrels. Remember the promises of Mandela for a rainbow nation? Well, Mr. Morrison, look up black economic empowerment. Spend an hour looking at the corruption that's going on in South Africa. Spend half an hour looking at farm murders and farm attacks in South Africa just in the last few weeks. Get an education, Mr. Morrison. Don't believe everything you see in the mainstream media. Yes, they're making a big lot of noise about what's going on in Hong Kong at the moment, aren't they? But believe me, what's been going on in South Africa for the last 25 years would make your blood turn cold if you bothered to even look at it. I'm going to sign off here, Mr. Morrison, because as an Australian, I'm appalled by the attitude of this coalition government here in Australia towards the community that I hold so dear. My plea to you is that you open the doors of Australia to South Africans, the minority South Africans, who are living in fear day by day. Please, please, just take a few hours and go and have a look at the plight of these people. It will shock you.